Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vandeham Sigurum Siyutapadakamalam Sigurum Vaishnavamscha Shirupam Shagrayatam Shaganaragunatanvitam Tam Chajivam Sadvaitam Savatutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Shagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitam Scha Mukam Kadoti Vachalam Pangum Langayati Kirim Yakripatam Mahangvan Shri Guru Dinataran Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. It is this side the shoes. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So we will switch now to English because we have some English members coming, and you should also learn how to speak English. Where are you living now? Where? ¿Dónde vives ahora, madre?
En la casa de Hugo Granda, en el house de Hugo Granda, casa. Camino al templo de las madres,
No en este momento, en general.
En Argentina, Buenos Aires.
En Argentina. ¿Todo bien?
Muy bien.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Oh, Siddhanta Prabhu, welcome. Welcome home. So we had a big plan today for making a big field trip, but we may have a big shower surprise on the way. So we have to get our meteorological planning coordinated. Maybe we do some adjustments to our travel plan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Maharaj, maybe you want to film the questions and answers.
To film it?
Yeah,
I'm not prepared for that. They are recording, so...
You don't have a camera? What was it for?
Sorry?
For what was the questions and answers?
For book.
Ah, for the book, yeah. Okay, then recording is fine. Okay, start asking the questions.
Is the holy place more favorable for practicing spiritual life than other place in the planet?
Well, very powerful spiritual people, they will turn any place into a holy place. But because association is such an important element, then when you meet or you go to a place where many people spiritually dedicated and they show great attention towards the divine, then the mundane person starts feeling an inclination to do the same. So therefore, What to speak if there's a place like Vrindavan or Mayapur, where spiritual tradition has been going on for 500 or 5,000 years, and there are so many different historical places which show the greatness and the appreciation showing to that specifically tradition which is represented by this place, then this is very encouraging. So therefore, when we do Brajmanda Parikrama, for example, we really emphasize how the whole area of Braj is connected to the divine loving play of Sri Radha and Krishna, and that we come into this world as a servant, aspiring servant of the infinite. We are aspiring servant of the one who comes down and plays as a child in this world. Plays as a child. Shishi Gurnitai Ki Jai. Alguien tiene que tomar la responsabilidad del Ártico en la mañana. El Ártico era media hora antes en el Ganges, no había Ártico, no había nada. Entonces Gopati tiene que hacer todo solo, tiene que ser más pendiente de ayudar, porque ahora ya no es la hora.
¿Y para la parafernalia? Nadie va por la parafernalia.
Bueno.
Todos los años.
Eso. Para mí lo mismo. Comer y dormir. Parece que va a seguir siendo así. No, porque está tarde, ya estaba en la clase. Pero si alguien trae después de la clase lo puede hacer. So, the question of a holy place is a very important place. It's called the Tirtha. And the Tirtha is especially blessed by the presence of saintly people. They remove the sins which are left in the Tirtha by those who go to the Tirtha just to get rid of their sins. This is being said that the Prayag Tirtha, where people go to get rid of their sins by bathing in the Triveni, that this Prayag Tirtha came to Vrindavan and went to take baths in Pavan Sarovar, and that Krishna, when he heard that his father wanted to go to Prayag Tirtha for pilgrimage, he told him, Nanda Baba, you don't have to go anywhere. Here in Vrindavan we have everything. This is the best place of all the places for anything. So Nanda Baba said, yeah, that's okay, we can stay over to Vrindavan, but at least going a little visit to Prayag Tirtha would also be very nice, it's our tradition. But then, when Nanda Baba went down to Pavan Sarovar, he saw this man lying on the ground and he was like kind of crying, ailing. So he asked him, who are you? Why are you crying? He says, oh, my name is Prayag Tirtha. I am suffering so much from all the sins given to me inside by the bathing who come here. So I came here to Pavan Sarovar to place myself to get rid of all these sins, because this is the holiest place in the whole existence. And Nanda Baba said, oh my God, I was going to go to Prayag Tirtha. Now Prayag Tirtha personified is coming to take baths in Pavan Sarovar. I think Krishna is quite right. I think we don't have to go anywhere, we Brijbasis. We have everything at home, all the piety at home. Not a thing of Tirtha. Tirtha sometimes inspire people to make lengthy walks and lengthy celebrations. So, of puja, of showing honor, etc. But this process is also very recommended, because whenever you do something spiritual, when you spend your time for spiritual things, then at that same time you are saving away from mundane activities. So if you're listening to the sadhus, you're not watching television. When you're chanting the holy name, you're not talking prajalpa. When you're eating prasadam, you're not eating bhoga. And like this, there's always the counterpart. They always say, yeah, let's see what's going on. And it's very auspicious. Actually, spiritual life is very auspicious. We just have to know how to live it appropriately. And how is that? By taking shelter of the saintly persons in the holy place, and taking shelter of them by listening to them, and that makes everything perfect. So by those who go to holy places just to take baths there and not to listen to the holy places, they have a mentality called sa iva mukara. So they are cows and asses. They may also go to the holy places, but they would just want to eat some greenery there. They don't pay much attention to the temples or to the sadhus or to the people making Dandavat Parikrama. They don't pay attention. They're just looking, where's something green to chew. Vinay! Haribo! When a nice fresh day. What's the next question?
So what about those who cannot visit the Holy Land?
They should do something very special, inviting saintly people to their place and establishing sanctuaries where they are. Come here, Maharaj, my son. So this is very special here. We are together, and from here we go everywhere to take holy dust and holy memory to every place. It is our delight, our greatest delight. And how do we do that? Oh, we take in deities from the Holy Land. Did you buy some deities yesterday?
It's closer
It was closed?
because it's Thursday. It was Thursday.
Okay.
Thursday in
So we take deities to around the world. We take Imlitalas around the world. We worship Govardhan in so many places. We make prasadam everywhere. Wherever there's a kitchen of Krishna, that's Radharani's kitchen, that's a big holy place. So we do that. We make Nanda Falfas everywhere. Like Maharaj, he said, we want to have Nandagram here in Hungary, and he made it. Here it is. Still we are running around Nandagram, Nanda Falfa, Nandagram, and made a beautiful temple there, which I think is one of the most beautiful temples of all over Europe. Just imagine, Hungarian-Indian combination. Humble and beautiful at the same time. So this is an example. And if somebody doesn't have that much money, you know, everybody has a room where he lives, and he can make a little altar in his room. But it should be very clear that unless we connect our existence somehow or other with the divine spheres, then we will feel the absence, the lack of spirituality. Even though, you know, what is spirituality? Is that a physical, visible thing? No, really. It's not visible to the eye. The spiritual thing is the higher dimension which descends upon us by divine grace. That's basically what it is. So nobody is lost just by calling for the holy name, holy mercy. Then there will be something will happen, some response will come. The holy place is walking all around the sadhus. Next question.
So you you mentioned that we have to invite the sadhus, but how can we know? How can we be sure that we are listening from the proper source?
We just ask the best one we know. And if that's not good enough, then God has to send somebody else. And we follow our heart by trying to decide who is the best one to. You know, we are dependent on mercy at any given step in our life. And therefore we always try to continue on the path back to home, back to God, and as strongly as possible. And if we become weak, we should always search out some strong association that we can get our show together and do the things right. Prayer, 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 humble, 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 humble. Tilaptapi savichana tororapi savishnuna amanina mananina kirtaniyat sadapadi. Should pray for this, pray for grace, pray for the right association, pray for the right mantra, pray for the right initiation, pray for the right moral level to become available to us by the good association. Pray for the right books to come into our life. You see how important the books are. Well, you say, I got many stupid books in my life into my hand because I was living in the library. The library was in the same house and I had a key to the library. So I didn't have to go to a complicated path. I would always take out 4 or 5 books at a time, read them, return them and take the next 5 books. That was my whole childhood. I passed like this. So I read so many stupid books. And some of them also very interesting. I mean, I can't say that I wasn't entertained, but I was not very much spiritually enlivened or enlightened by that. So that's what the history was, and then we started reading other books. I mean, my main books in my life was Tao Te King, Lao Tse, which deeply impressed me. Then I read Rig Veda and I couldn't understand it. It was too flowery for me. Demigod praises and things like that. Then afterward I read Vivekananda, Jnana Yoga Bhakti Yoga. Then I read Yogananda, the autobiography of a yogi. So the standard reading of those who are a little bit. Then I started reading some Sri Aurobindo, and I didn't get really anywhere really like a satisfaction that I met something, I found something. And then after that I read Bhagavad Gita in the first version, which was not Prabhupada's version. Again, I couldn't understand it, and I was still looking forward. Is there something to be found? And when I read Prabhupada's Ishopanishad, I could then finally understand what's the meaning of scripture. Actually, I didn't know that before, because I come from a generation where we memorized Goethe in school, and I hated it. I hated to memorize stupid poems by stupid philosophers or entertainers or anything, you know. Like if I tell you now, you have to memorize all the songs of Lady Gaga, huh? Then you will say, the guy's crazy. Why? Well, for me, Goethe and Lady Gaga are not much difference, you know, because they're only talking about mundane things. There was nothing really inside. What could give me some satisfaction, because I wasn't reading Hölderlin, and I wasn't reading some higher inspired things. I was reading that. So and then in school we had to memorize it. I said, it was horrible. Why should I memorize this stupid stuff? But you know, school, they don't ask you that you decide what you want to study. They tell you study this or you fail the course. So I had to memorize it. So when I read finally the poem of the soul of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I felt the greatest relief in my world, in my life. Because when I read that poem, that's the first time in my life that I felt this was a poem worth reading. This was so inspired, that was so deep. That is poetry. And also when I read the poems of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada for his guru, I also felt the same way. Wow, the sweet, sweet beat the heart when you see your lotus feet. That was a poem I liked. Sweet, sweet beat my heart when I see your lotus feet. Huh? It's a bit rapid, no? So I mean, later in life I found quite a lot more substantial poetry. In Bhakti Yoga line there's substantial poetry. Our songbooks are full of substantial poetry. Yesterday we met Gaura-Sundar, who just made such a nice poetry from Sharanagati. So, very special. We just met him as we went out. He was in a wheelchair. He's a great poet, Vaishnava poet, and his sisters. So, all this is poetry and writing, very important subjects that unless you connect them with the divine and the real spiritual dimension, they're really just a waste of time. And I didn't want to waste time. Of course, I wasted time voluntarily when I was listening to the rock musicians and all their songs. But in those days, you know, we were just listening to the music. We didn't really pay much attention to the letters, what they were singing, except when it came to quintessence, a little bit moody blues, and of course the Beatles. They also had some nice songs with some meaningful. And in her eyes, there is nothing in her eyes. So things like that, then you go, so you got some philosophical thoughts about it. I liked very much the interview which George Harrison gave when he said, I didn't want to make any senseless music which they put on today and tomorrow nobody wants to listen about it again. I wanted to do some music which will be significant and touching the people's heart ongoingly from now on. And that's George, no? That's George Harrison. And he not only had that intention, he accomplished that, no? Living in this material world. And so many very powerful songs. As a matter of fact, in our Vrinda mission, I had the deep satisfaction, due to Rasa Manjari's help, to turn George Harrison's songs into video clips in Spanish with Spanish subtitles. And you can really hear, because I must admit that when I was listening to George in the beginning, I also didn't understand what the heck he was singing there. My English was not good enough with the music. But later I saw, my God, George Harrison, he made songs. They are really powerful prayer songs. Okay, so now I know what is music, what is literature, which is meaningful, which is enlivening. So books are very significant, and like a sadhu, you want to know what's the right sadhu, what's the right poem. You just have to open your eyes and look for it, and choose the best you can find, because that's why you have the intellectual property of free will. And if you choose the wrong thing, well, then you will also have to waste your time with the wrong thing until you get fed up with the wrong thing and start searching again. Now in my case, I found Srila Prabhupada and his message. I don't think I have to change again. I don't think there's any reason to change and now read other books, instead the books of my spiritual master. I'm still listening to his classes every night. I'm still giving the testimony that Prabhupada's teachings are sublime and very touching and very wonderful. And the only problem with them is that we are not taking them serious enough. That's the only problem. Because our naughty our treacherous mind always wants to take us into discover and to go into a different perception of beauty, which is not the divine eternal beauty. Next question.
What is the main difference between mundane person and the sadhu?
A mundane person, he wants to be happy by himself, and a sadhu, he wants to be happy making others happy, and number one, making the Supreme happy. If the Supreme is happy, Rishikena Rishikesha Sivanam Bhaktya Uchate. That shloka, that statement to say that we got our senses from Rishikesh, so we should engage our senses in the service of Rishikesh. By doing so, everything becomes harmonized and very wonderful. So, Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Uchate. This is our gift, this is our treasure. We want to have this treasure of pleasing the Lord of love. And then everything would be harmonized, everything would be fine. So, mundane person, they don't care for this kind of instruction, they just care for momentarily maximum satisfactions. And that is very often in the mode of raja, passion, or tamas, ignorance. So it's not uplifting necessarily, it can be degrading. So some people, they want to go and they want to go to a restaurant where the women serve them without any dress on the upper part of the body. No, when they say, oh, this is, you pay extra in such a restaurant. You know? But then what are those women's position is there? A woman doesn't want to show her breast to everybody. That's not natural for a woman. So they are paying those girls to force them to shed their natural shyness and just go around and serve the guests with bare breasts. So this is like the mundane world, you know. It is you know, even in the Mahabharata, this is what they wanted. The Duryodhana, Dushashan, they wanted to see Draupadi naked. So it's a big abuse of a man if he wants to see a woman naked. Because if he wants to see a woman naked, okay, then you marry her and you look for the rest of your life for her. Huh? Otherwise, don't bother her of taking off her dress for you. Huh? So this is a kind of thing, you know. This is the teaching of shyness, the teaching of values which are confirmed. These values actually come from inside. They're the inner laws, the divine inner laws which are there. And you feel them, you know. You can sense them. It's appreciated. So exploitation is mundane. Dedication is divine. And then the question is dedication to what? The dedication to the process of dedication to the divine, that is divine. Because you can be a dedicated mountain climber. Just the other day somebody visited me, he is a mountain climber, and he went up to the Everest and his toes froze off. He actually lost his toes up there on the Everest. So he was so dedicated to mountain climbing that he ended up without toes. Well, so it's not what I'm going to recommend to you when it comes to dedication. But if you're going to go on Sankirtan and go around and spread the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, then it is fine. Where's Gopika? Oh, there is Gopika. So in this way, dedication to the divine, that is divine and has a divine result. Dedication to passion, it may be good for name and fame, but not for spiritual upliftment. And dedication to exploitation, like mafia people, they're also very dedicated to their criminal activities, and they're going to get it, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse because they're dedicating themselves to the deprivation or any nonsensical activities giving suffering to others. So the word dedication is not enough. It's dedication to the dedication to the divine. Next.
Why do we need rituals? Do we need them? Why?
Well, you know, we are very ritualistic people. That's why we shake hands. Or we give a hug. Like in Bangladesh when I was there, I learned where the hugs come from. Because in Bangladesh you always greet with 3 hugs. Not 1, not 2, 3 hugs. I don't know, maybe there's a country somewhere else they give 4 hugs, but for me Bangladesh wins the race so far. So we are kind of ritualistic people by nature. No, there's many type of rituals, like there's one ritual called twinkling the eye. That's a ritual. Another one is come here. No? Another one is I offer myself to you. So ritual, the way the gestures of a body, it's also called body language. No? And there's also ritualism in that. And when it comes to food, people are very ritualistic about their food. No? It's a way to grow the food, to prepare the food, to serve the food, you know. Like, I remember when I was growing up, we had those horrible banquet tables, you know, big table, all side round, and the head of the table, there was like the chief of the clan, you know, and then they would put a dead pig on the table and the dead birds also, and then they would all sit there with their knives and forks around. There was a ceremony, there was a ritual, you know, and the worst comes to worse, you know, then in the ritual, the exploitative rituals, I remember when you would have to come, and while you were eating, you have the servants come, no? There's a guy called in Europe, Knigge. I don't know if you've heard of him. He wrote the Code of Etiquette. They said, according to Knigge, you have to put the cloth over the left hand. You have to approach from the left and serve the wine into the glass. Before that, you show to them the year of the vine. So the wine drinkers have what you call a ritual. No? The meat eaters have rituals. The hunters have rituals. Any damned guy in this world has some rituals. No? So why is that? Nobody has imposed those rituals. We are naturally ritual people. So, but we should go beyond the mundane ritual, and we should become cultured. So culture, the word culture, it comes from cult or from worship. So the ritual, which is actually substantially helpful to humanity, is that ritual which connects him in a cult, in a worshipable way, with the divine spheres. And of course, in every religion we have so many rituals, so many ways of expressing that. The Muslims offer 5 times a day their prayer, and they have to figure out, no? They have a compass. Where is Mecca? Where is Mecca? No? And then like this, no? And the Russians had the same thing, because when the Russian cosmonaut was out in the sky, no? Then they were asking him, what do you see? He said, I'm looking, where's Moscow? Where's Moscow? In the middle of a class, never disturb. That's the tradition. So everybody's focusing some ritual, nationalistic ritual, religious rituals, everything, you know. Even the countries, they all have a national anthem. They all have a national color, a national flag, a national bird, a national flower, a national this, a national that. All say, we have, wow, and it's all accompanied by some kind of ritualism. So our ritual, which we are cherishing, is the ritual of connecting with the divine. And whatever is favorable in this contact, it's a very helpful step. It's rather that than something else mundane, nothing, meaningless, you know. And you know, the perverted rituals is what we do in the Olympics, no? No? We are trying to say the greatest of the guys is the one who has the biggest leg and he could shoot that ball, and they shoot it for 500 meters. Wow, my goodness, you know. Or like that, you know. It's funny because the human beings always make this competition about some special level of performance with their physical bodies. And that's also worship. But, you know, rituals, they are nothing without the meaning. So the question is here, what is the meaning of the ritual? What is it good for? But we are definitely accustomed to understand that without a divine ritual of culture, of connecting with the Lord, and gratefulness towards the one who has sustained our life, then we're bound to do some nonsense material ritual. We will not be free of rituals at any time, as I can understand. Even the impersonalist who hides in the forest or goes into a cave, well, there's a lot of ritual about that too, you know. First of all, you have to find the cave. Then you have to find a seed inside. Maybe there's only rocks inside. So kind preparing, like to create a sanctuary, there's another ritual. To construct a house, there's another ritual. To harvest the land, there's another ritual. To wake up in the morning and see the sun, there's another ritual. So it's not about rituals, it's about the essence, what we should look for, and then adapt to the appropriate rituals which harmonize with the essence of our existence. Next.
Can we get the essence without rituals?
Well, you can try giving up eating. How far will you get? Huh? And in eating is a ritual. So I think it's too abstract, the question, in a sense as getting up in the morning and taking a shower or going to the bathroom is a ritual. Somebody's born, there's a ritual. Somebody dies, there's a ritual. So it's just the nature of life is relating to the unknown and relating to the known by different rituals. So anybody says, I do everything without ritual? I haven't met that guy yet. Huh? Some people, they object or they protest against some particular rituals they don't like. Well, that's a different story. Anybody can like or dislike somebody else's rituals. Like, I don't like German rituals. German rituals are really ugh. I don't want to go into details, but I And I tried German rituals, so don't think I never tried it. No? I was also thinking, maybe I'm German, no? So I have to go drink a beer. No? Ugh, how horrible this beer tastes. Really, ugh, disgusting. Huh? And then when you get drunk, it's more disgusting, you know? No. And then what else rituals we have there? Well, then you go to the feast. So then everybody, he comes to the big market, to the fair, and everybody has to eat a hot dog with mustard. There's a lot of mustard. Gosh! Eating a dead piece of meat there. It's so disgusting. And you can smell it because you don't have no smell, or they put so much other things over it that it smells like burnt whatever. But actually, that's a German ritual. You eat a hot dog, you know. And then if you're more sophisticated, then you eat a frankfurter, or a steak. This is the rituals. You know, it's just not. Sorry, you know. I didn't feel any inclination. I really felt it was disgusting, and I could give you a lot more other stories of German rituals. They have one ritual when there's carnival. They all sit together, like big row of people, and then they all get drunk and then they shake together. They shake, sorry, I never wanted to sit with them and shake like that, you know. And the worst ritual of Germany, I mean, that's nowadays became a famous ritual worldwide. It's called the football ritual. Oh God. I was so upset in Bangladesh, I must tell you. These Bangladeshis, they're just stupid, you know. Everywhere in Bangladesh, they had a Brazilian flag and an Argentine flag. A Brazilian flag and an Argentine flag. And I thought, but we won the World Cup, the Germans, and they don't have one flag here. Well, what is this? Why they love the South Americans so much, you know? That they even ignore that we win the World Cup. No? So this, I could not understand Bangladesh, really, I thought this. But since football is not important, you know, I said, so forget about it. Let's keep hugging the Bangladeshis and chant Hare Krishna with them. So I could protest, but then this whole football ritual, it's so disgusting, you know. I mean, nothing wrong with playing a little bit with the ball if you have nothing else to do, or if the people you do it with, you love them and there's fun, you know. Oh yeah, here come on, take the ball. Bing, ball, bing, pa pa pa. This is something like really, like for silly, you know. And then you have a goal and you go, bing, wow, woo, huh? But this kind of football ritual, you know, this is so terrible that at the end they kill each other. Now they have a thing like in South America, many places there, you're belonging to this one. They have like the colors of the different football clubs. And then if they say, yes, I believe my foot club, then they kill him. Every day children get killed for the football. I said, what kind of a ritual is this? This is an Asuric ritual of people of no value and no intelligence whatsoever. That's what they want to make from this world, a place of nuts. No? So I didn't like German rituals. I went away and I started. But when I went to see the Gauranga Mahaprabhu rituals, well, maybe by my samskara, I don't know what, I loved them. I love the Mangal Artik ritual. I love the chanting. I love to offer a fire to the Lord and then each one touch it, getting the blessings of it. I love the prasadam ritual. I love it when they cook and they distribute prasadam to everybody, you know. I mean, in the church they never gave me anything to eat, you know. I mean, I went to church so many times, I only get a little piece of white bread without salt. I mean, come on. I mean, this is a boring ritual, you know. Whereas here, in any temple in India, chapati, puri, and luglu, and laddu, and sabji, and no, come on, and misti dahi, you go crazy, you know. I mean, who doesn't want to be part of that ritual, you know? So, in other words, I loved India. I loved the rituals of India. I was never told by anybody, hey, you have to become a Hindu or you have to make a Hindu ritual. No. Anyhow, I didn't want to make the Germans look that bad, you know? But it was pretty bad. I got rid of it, you know? And when my spiritual master, you know, when I went to the yoga movement, I'm just revealing to you my own growing. The yoga movement, that was like, okay, people do yoga, people sit down, they chant the bhajan and certain things. But when I heard Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he actually changed people's life. He put them in Indian dresses, and they're putting tilak on their head, and they're getting up at 3:30 in the morning, and they go for Mangal Artik, and they have mridangas and kartals, and they make all that, and then they go jump and dance. I said, no, this is what I was looking for. This is my culture. Oh, Bhaktadas Prabhu, hey, Hare Krishna. Huh? The entrance is there, this side. Yes.
But I know a good devotee from this side.
But here you can sit with us. Come on. So this is my ritual. I appreciate, you know, and that's what I. Here, Bhaktadas, come here. I have a special seat for you. He's my godbrother, Bhaktadas, who is an old pioneer of Prabhupada's Sankirtan movement and still active in preaching in one way or another from Thailand now. There's a long history, but you don't want to know all the details about except that it's blissful to be here. In the holy Dham.
I like your treehouse.
You like it, thank you.
One of my dreams as a boy was to have a nice treehouse.
Yours and mine also. So this is, as far as concerned, is what the rituals are. We are naturally inclined to Vaishnava rituals because they have a very high meaning. So sophistication in rituals, I've nowadays seen. I've been in many native rituals with native people, and I find some of their rituals are quite charming. And like most people, they don't know. In Colombia, in the Sierra Nevada, the man, especially the man, they're sitting all night in the kunkura. The kunkura is a building, no windows inside. There's only a fire burning. And they're sitting there all night listening to lecture. One person speaks, then he stops, another one starts. And it just goes on the whole night, they're always listening. Like, I've been in there because I was curious, what are they doing in this place all night, you know? And so I went in, and then at 2 o'clock in the morning they asked me, now you speak. No, no? So it's an amazing thing, an experience, you know. And of course these people, they don't have television, they don't have libraries, they don't have internet, they don't have anything. For them, the coming in contact with other worlds and other spheres, that is through the speaking ability of inspired people. And that's the culture. Well, you know, in one way or another we come into this world to learn, and there's a way to learn. And I found the rituals quite interesting there. Playing the conch shell, offering something to Mother Earth. It was nice, no? But again, you know, everybody's attached to the rituals he's practicing himself, or which he got from his ancestors or from his beloved guardians. And well, I got my rituals by my Guru Deva Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He gave me the rituals, and you know, those I memorized. Sam Sanarava Nalavida Loka, that I know. Other songs I could never memorize. But the ones Prabhupada said, sing this in the morning, sing the other night. Okay. No? So it became naturally part of me because I wanted it to be. So in this way, yes, everybody will feel inclined towards a certain type of his rituals. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in his Krishna Samhita, he explains very nicely. He says, when I see someone else has a ritual of worshipping the Lord, which is different of mine, then I should think, oh my Lord, how wonderful. You're inspiring the people to worship you in so many different ways. Now let me become enthusiastic to also worship you, my Lord. To also worship you, my Lord, in the tradition which I've been brought up and taught by. And this will be just wonderful. Something like that. Next.
Some people say that psychedelic drugs can give us spiritual experiences.
Well, you know, this is such an ambiguous saying, because you could say everything is a spiritual experience. Breathing. When your hearts are filling with this oxygen and you get so charged by energy, it's a very spiritual feeling. Eating prasadam is a very spiritual experience. Sometimes you get a medicine and you were feeling so terrible and you took this medicine and strength comes back into your body. And you think, this healing is a very spiritual experience. Life is a spiritual experience. So psychedelic drugs, they are usually really powerful potions. Powerful potions, they create some alteration on your nervous system, DMT, and so many. But often they are just product of some disequilibrium in neurosensors, which are there. Oh, now look who's coming. Italy Yatra finally arrived. Mahapurusha coming. This is the entrance. I was already going to look from Italy because Mahapurusha didn't come to see us. Hare Krishna. Harimo, Dandavats. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, here, sit here. VIP. Mataji, sit here. No, you have to, there's no more place to sit. Mahapurusha is my dear friend from Italy, and his wife, they are always preaching Krishna consciousness very nicely there in Italy. So psychedelic drugs, they are usually just disturbing neurotransmitter processes, and like it is something like a transgenic mind experience. Like you position something where it's not supposed to be, and all of a sudden, like when you drink enough alcohol, you see everything double. Have you seen that? You go, but it doesn't mean that it's double now. It just means your eyesight is a little bit blown to inappropriate dimensions. And you can do that. I mean, you can get a drug effect just by knocking somebody with a stick on the head, you know? And you also, you don't know what's upside down, you know? And, you know, if you want to go beyond the doubt, then you can find out that people get high psychedelic drugs by sniffing glue, sniffing some glue, sniffing alcohol, sniffing gasoline. They put gasoline in a plastic bag and they go, and then the whole world turns around. So is that a psychedelic drug, or what is that? Is it? It's actually, it's a chemical imbalance creating great disturbance in the natural setting of your physical well-being. So is that a spiritual experience? I would say yes, because it's a proof that's what you're not supposed to do. So it's a spiritual experience that when you really analyze it, you understand that's wrong. It's no good for me. I mean, was Bilva Mangala Thakur having a spiritual experience when he plucked out his eyes? That's a pretty extreme question on top of yours. And of course we would say, he's crazy, plucked out his eyes. But he's mentioned as a great spiritual teacher. He wrote Krishna Karnamrita later. He had such an experience that in his case, himself plucking out his eyes and becoming Bilva Mangala Thakur was a spiritual experience. Otherwise, how do we talk about it? How do we mention it? So, in a similar way, those who have had psychedelic drug experience, they often tell you they saw something, they felt that there was some higher thing that they should go after. So in this way, the psychedelic drug is not disqualified from providing a certain spiritual experience. Otherwise, not many of those hippies of Prabhupada's time had become Hare Krishna happies if there would not have been anything helpful. So, but Hayagriva said, Prabhupada told me, chant Hare Krishna and stay high forever. And he said, I like that one. And you don't have to pay for it. And you don't have to ruin your health for it. And you, I mean, come on, you know, it's an easier way to chant Hare Krishna than to smoke crack or something like that.
You know, Maharaj, in 1969, I was a great fan of LSD. My mother would ask me, when are you going to stop taking this? And I would say, when something gets me higher. So one day I was on LSD and I was walking down the street in Laguna Beach and I saw this man with a shaved head and a very long ponytail wearing these saffron robes, and I'd never seen white paste on his forehead, and I thought, this is very different. I've never seen this. So I walked up to him. I looked in his eyes, and I started to shake, and my hair standing on end. And I started to cry, and I could not tell if this man was 1,000 years old or 10 years old. And I was looking into eternity, and I felt this man's so high, so much higher than I've ever dreamed of being, although I had taken mescaline and LSD at the same time, and I thought I was very high. And I just asked him, I said, what do I do? I said, are you my guru? And he said, no, there's your guru. And he showed me a picture of Prabhupada that was on the doorway above him. And when I saw that, then I practically fell unconscious. So that was the end of my LSD.
So this answers your question, no? It can be, but it's not necessarily so. There's also a great danger with all these mind-altering drugs. When people get lost, they become addicted, hooked, destroyed, and so we are definitely not endorsing drug taking for spiritual experience. We have a better way. Our spiritual teachers have given us such sweet guidance into the world of spiritual experiences and sensations, and now we're in the Adivas. We are moving up towards Gaura-purnima tomorrow. So this is a very spiritual experience. You can feel it here. You can just see, look at Goswami Maharaj. That's a very spiritual experience, I'm sitting there, like a soldier from Uruguay and Paraguay, Mayapur. Like Paramadvaiti Maharaj is like a samadhi experience, You see this old guy, you think, well, what the heck is he doing here? Well, he just single-handedly built this building you are seeing here. Yeah, he did. So,
can I hire him to come to Thailand?
That we may negotiate. So in this way, yes, spiritual experience, we should not be too narrow-minded, and we shouldn't be loose and careless. Because spiritual experience is everything when you have the right take on it. You may listen to somebody and you may have a very disgusting material sensation when you hear guys talking nonsense, and you may listen to a class and you may get totally uplifted and enlivened and enlightened. Then you may not be deserving, so you may hear something wise and you hear it bad, or you may hear something bad and you hear it wise. What is the saying? Vyasaveti Shukaveti Naveti Va. That only you can understand it when the Lord is agreeable that you are getting. So in the same way, any other sensation in life, it may be uplifting, it may not be. It just depends how much you are deserving of grace at that moment. Next one. Oh, there's another question we give.
Okay, Maharaj, is it possible to achieve Krishna consciousness after marriage? And if it is possible, then why some Maharaj do not get married and spend a brahmachari life?
Oh, you're putting it hard here, my dear. If there would be no glory in marriage, you would not be sitting here, number one. Huh? And you're a nice guy, and your parents are great, wonderful devotees, so they have made a strong prayer for you to come. And then they had to change your diapers for so many long years. And fortunately, that time is over. Now, so now it's up to you to, so marriage or not marriage, sadhu or not, yes, it is true. The sadhus have said that if you want to make rapid spiritual advancement, avoid marriage and dedicate yourself completely to the service of Sri Guru and Gauranga. If you can do that, fine. That is also good. There is a very good virtue in that. You know, marriage, as beautiful as marriage is, and as beautiful as it is to have children, it does take a lot of time.
Tell me about it.
And this time is kind of destroying your whole life. Because instead of getting into action right away and getting your Manurad Hare Krishna is snuck in there, no? Huh? Huh? So,
Like a little bird.
so, this is my friend Anuradha. She works with the upliftment of people left and right. And with the natives of America. She's one of the leaders of the natives of America. And working with our work in South America also. So, and she's a dancer and a singer and who knows what not. Now I lost my train of thought.
It takes a lot of time.
Oh yeah, marriage takes a lot of time, and because of that, if you ask the Guru, Gurudev, shall I get married or shall I just do service all day? And Gurudev said, you know something? If you can do service all day, I'm very pleased, you know? Because then I have a real good guy who's really got into good stuff. So, if you wish to. But sometimes the Guru looks at the guy and says, come on, don't fake it. Get married. There's a nice service, a nice protection in Grihastha life also. So it is not, we should not see it black and white. It's just not appropriate. It's just like, be thankful that you can have a Grihastha ashram, because the very fact of the matter, the wording is ashram. You know, you're becoming a chief of a Grihastha ashram. I mean, you know, if I make you temple president in some of the temples, sit here, Ramesh. If I make you a president of a temple, then you should feel very, very honored. Then I feel very, very honored. And so,
hey, Maharaj.
yeah, I know
I can
this guy.
speak about Grihastha very well.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. So it's it's a very honorable, because then you can take care of so many devotees, and you can give Sunday feasts, and so many people will come and pay attention. But this is when you're getting a Grihastha ashram situation, then you also have all the ability, and you can think about your own father. Even though he was a businessman and was a Grihastha, he never loses an opportunity to take Krishna to different places and levels, and always favorable with the Vaishnavas in whatever they do. So it is not something like, oh, Grihastha ashram simply is an impediment we have to avoid. That is a kind of a fanaticism. Whoever thinks like that, he distorts the reality. And I personally think that the Grihastha ashram is more difficult than to be a brahmachari. It's really a committed life you have to live. Very, very hard-working, committed life. And if somebody says sense gratification, yes, in a Grihastha life you have some sense gratification, good so, but you pay a lot for it, you know? And then what's the big deal, you know? And plus then the thing is, then in Grihastha ashram you are allowed to have sex life, but that gets boring very quickly. So then you don't know, because unfortunately in this Maya world what's attractive is always that which is prohibited. Huh? If it's prohibited, you think, oh, that must be very enticing. But if it is allowed and then nobody talks about it, then okay, maybe I should control that. So in this sense, what's the big deal here? Let's just go ahead and be thankful about being brahmachari. Let's be thankful about being grihastha. Let's be thankful about being vanaprastha or sannyasi, and try to maintain a good example in this society. Because if you don't give a good example, then you're not serving appropriately. If you don't give a good example, then you're actually failing on the people who expect you to give a good example. I mean, I'm also struggling with this, because you have to give a good example. It's not easy to always give a good example, always to go up in Mangalarti, always to give a class, always to be simply Haribol, no? And to be like strict in every sense of the word. I mean, it's hard year after year, but whatever. It's also not easy to be a straight grihastha. Because a straight grihastha is supposed to be focused on his wife and not never look on another woman, and find that grihastha, and you can say, you met a great soul. So in this way, here you go. That's our life, that's our struggle, that's our strive, and that's how we keep connected until one lifetime we transcend really. That hopefully will come soon.
Right.
Next.
So we can say that we don't need human being to be connected with God. So how to understand Guru principle in the West?
Well, this is a type of a silly statement, because you don't need human being to be connected with God. When the number one human being who's connecting you with God is called your mother. So she's quite human. And then again, we have heard that without your father, she would have been helpless. So you already got two human beings connecting you to God. No? Then there's those who give you the language, like there's this wonderful shloka in the memory bank open, when you surrender to Krishna, all your debts to the forefathers, to the rishis, to the family, society in general, all these are automatically taken care of by taking shelter of Guru and Krishna and doing devotional service. I forgot the shloka. Somebody knows it?
I don't know the Sanskrit, but I know the one you're thinking about.
Yeah, the Sanskrit.
Yeah, that's one where he says all the, that's in the Bhagavatam.
Yes.
It's all by, you take the pure devotional service, you don't have any debts to the demigods, to the parents, to the ancestors.
This is the verse, huh? Yeah. Anyhow, it's bit and pieces that are floating around. That's when you get an old brain, But all the shlokas mixed up there together, This is a kind of art, Should not use them every day. Devarshi putapta ninam pitinam nakinkano nayam rimichana. Okay. Crazy brain. Anyway, so this is the teaching is there that the duties in life which we have to the rishis and to the great souls, they are all substantial. Mother Earth is a Devi. Every tree is a Vaishnava. Fruit trees who giving you the fruit to eat, and everywhere is the divinity. So to say you don't need somebody else to get something is pretty silly statement. Because everything which comes to us in our life is through somebody else. And so now the question is, do we need a guru or not? Well, that is another silly question, because guru is a name of representative of something you don't know anything about. And Krishna accepted the Guru, Sandipani Muni, Mahaprabhu accepted the Guru, Keshava Bharati and Ishvara Puri. There's this transaction, Lord Rama, he accepted the spiritual master, and there God himself, just to give the example. So every child is sent to school, there's teachers, there's Pitta Guru, Mata Guru, there's Vatmana Padakshaka Guru, there is Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, Sannyas Guru, so many Pati Guru. So to say we don't need a Guru when you never read any of the books, looks like, because they came from Shastra Guru. So there's no way you're going to escape from Guru. The question is, you can only and you should only accept the Guru when it touches your heart and uplifts you to a higher dimension of existence. Then, like Walter Eidlitz, he wrote, you know who's your Guru when the influence of that person inspires you to engage in devotional service and to actually do selfless endeavors for coming to a higher consciousness. Whoever inspired that, he's your Guru. And whoever increases that inspiration, he can also be part of your Guru Tattva. And. You know? And. Next.
How can we know who is the real Guru?
Well, the real Guru is Krishna. Acharyamam Vijaniyam Namamam Yettakritarichit. So, he who is giving the sweet will of the Absolute, he is the real Guru. And that sweet will of the Absolute, that is revealed to those who are actually eager to find it. If you're not eager to find it, then don't expect it to be revealed to you. So there's a price to pay. And that price is lauryam, is intense eagerness and giving up. Like, for example, this nice thing Tuparari Maharaj once said, that how do you know who's the Guru? No, how do you relate to a Guru? Well, you have to give him something. It's called dakshin. So then the question is, how much dakshin do you have to give to the Guru? And it has to hurt. If it doesn't hurt you that you're giving the dakshin, and you're just giving, you're throwing away some little thing to change you don't need, no? No, that is not the dakshin to the Guru. So to the Guru you have to give that it hurts you. That, oh my goodness, oh Guru, this is okay for you, everything. Then you understand what's Guru. And then you can also make spiritual progress if you don't give anything to the Guru. Then if you don't listen, you don't ask the right questions, you don't offer obeisances, you don't render service to him, well then you won't understand anything. Guru is not like something you push on the button and then you get the result out, put in your pocket and go. It's not automated services. The Guru is a whole life of dedication connected there. Through the life of dedication, you may find out something amazing. More questions? They're very nice questions. We are asking very beautiful. He wanted to say something about Grihastha life, so we should not take away the opportunity.
It's actually a good question because every one of us is born in this body and we're carrying a backpack of our past karmas. And most of us born in the West, we're not born in a culture where we're trained in mind and sense control. And unless we're born in a Vaishnava family and trained from birth, so we're conditioned to naturally be attracted, male to female, female to male. Of course, in this age, even that's becoming changing, where it's becoming male and female, all sorts of things. Everyone's thinking I'm going to be enjoying through the senses of this body by basically rubbing itches. So the greatest rubbing of the itch in the material world, of course, is conjugal love or sex life. Maybe it's male-male or female-female, or by nature's law it's meant to be male and female so that there's procreation. So the Shastra, recognizing this, has given the sanction. Okay, you want to enjoy sex, fine, then you get yourself married, and Prabhupada said you take one and you stay. Then the penalty for sex is children. And like Maharaj was talking, it's a great burden to raise children, from changing diapers and taking care of the sick and wiping up vomit and paying for the education and the clothing, and then seeing your children grow up and turn against you and say, you don't love me and you hate me and I don't love you. It's a very painful thing. My mother recently died, and I can remember when I was a boy, I was very rebellious, and my mother, she finally said, I have to surrender you to God because you don't listen to me. So then, of course, she did the right thing because Prabhupada came and took me. But I was also a young boy, 20, 21 years old, and young and handsome, and I was in charge of a temple, and a lot of girls wanted to marry with me, and I was confused because I wanted to stay a brahmachari. But I wrote to Prabhupada and I said, Srila Prabhupada, should I get married or should I not get married? And he wrote back to me, he said, as far as your getting married is concerned, it is better if you can remain a brahmachari. He didn't say I forbid you to get married, but he advised me that if you can remain a brahmachari, that's good for you. But of course I was not able, and eventually I did get married, and I've had 6 children, and now 5 or 6 grandchildren. And out of those, one of them has become a nice Vaishnava and taken Diksha and is engaged in devotional service. The rest of them they've all been raised in Krishna, to some degree of Krishna consciousness, but you can't force anyone to take to Krishna consciousness. You can take what is the saying? You can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, right? So everyone's going to follow their own path eventually, and as a parent you have to sort of let go and pray and hope that God will take them, that they'll wake up one time. But indeed Prabhupada's advice was perfect. If you can remain a brahmachari and not get involved in this entangling, when you have to work, you have to get money, you have to food, it never stops, and it goes on for at least 20 years. But on the other hand, the Shastra says a woman should be protected always by the father, by the husband, or by the older son. So it becomes complex. But the one thing is sure, it shouldn't be artificial that one stay a brahmachari, but his mind is contemplating sensual enjoyment. It's better to be honest with yourself and get married and take responsibility. Okay, I cannot for me, I couldn't overcome. People would Prabhupada offered me sannyas in 1972. And I said, Prabhupada, how can I take sannyas? Every time a pretty girl walks in the room, I'm attracted to her. So I said, I want to take sannyas when I don't feel that attraction anymore. I don't want to be, get all the garlands and the mahaprasadam and give all the classes, but my mind's thinking about women. So we've seen practically so many swamis over the last 40 years have, for some time, even 20, 25 years, they've become sannyas, they've become guru, and then they've gone and gotten married. So better to be honest with yourself, right, than try to artificially be something you're not. That's my suggestion. If you can stay brahmachari and you're happy, that's a glorious thing. If you can 100% give yourself to the service of Guru, Vaishnava, and Hari, that's perfection of life. But if internally within your heart you're having a constant battle and you're sneaking off to masturbate or look at a picture of a naked girl somewhere, no, go get married. Be honest. Guru will bless you. Krishna will bless you. And believe me, if you take that responsibility, Krishna will bless you. He will help you. Your path to Krishna is not stopped. Rather, it will grow. It's a very important issue because all of us face that. Every one of us. We can't pretend we're something we're not. But by getting married, it doesn't stop us from advancing. I mean, in the Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada has clearly written how a householder can be happy and advance in spiritual life. He says if you get up in the morning, you have kirtan, and in the evening you have kirtan, you read Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna book, you hear, you worship Tulsi, you can do offer your food to Krishna, your home becomes Vaikuntha. I have practical experience of that. I think Maharaj has been to my home in Bangkok and stayed there. But it's very happy. It's a temple. It's Vaikuntha. Right, Maharaj?
I didn't see the golf playing clubs.
You didn't come. No, there's no golf course in the home.
There's a golf course in Vaikuntha.
Oh, you want to? Krishna's the best.
Well, but in Govardhan.
Yeah, there is a Govardhan National Golf Course now.
No, Vaikuntha, but we're looking for down.
Next time you come.
Okay, more questions? You see this, this morning we have Adivas, we have very open and relaxed, deep insights on spiritual life. You're always welcome. Who else wants to have a question or say something? Some commentary or something which inspires you. Is it raining out there?
Has been raining.
That's nice.
You know,
That's a great blessing.
there's not one umbrella for sale in all of Mayapur.
¿Qué dice algo? Corazón, pues corazón, más tarde cuando pasado, una hora pasada.
How we do to don't lose our emphasis?
Well, this is a very generic question. It's like, I would almost say, a little boring question, because it's the problem we have every day. So in that sense, of course, it's not boring. Then if it's a problem we have every day, then we should also have a solution every day. And the solution is, you should make a program for your mind where you put down all the things you want to do for Krishna. And then if you put it down, if you write it down, and it's approved by Sri Guru, and then if you don't do it, then you can also kick yourself in the ass yourself. Huh? You say, what? I'm not doing what I myself said I should do, what I put myself on my list of works to do. Huh? Then what am I going to get for that? Well, kick yourself in the ass. Huh? You're not doing what you yourself know you should do, what you yourself approve to be done, what your guru also approved to be done. What else you want? You want somebody to come and whip you? Huh? So enthusiasm, you know. Of course, if you're married, then if you don't work, you have somebody who can come and whip you, you know. And she will say, get out of here, you shameless guy. We need money, we need food, we need this. But sometimes especially sannyasi and brahmachari, nobody pushes you, nobody whips you. So then, how to maintain your enthusiasm? Well, I don't know if I'm a good example, but at least for myself, what I'm doing, I put so much on my plate of service that I cannot digest it and I cannot finish the whole meal. So I have to always leave it for tomorrow to keep eating. And then, as soon as there's a little bit less quantity on the plate, I really put some more stuff on it. So in this way, I try to keep out of trouble. You know, they say idle mind is devil's worship. You know, so just keep it busy. Keep it busy. Don't let it go. Don't let it go. Just let's do it. Let's do whatever we can. Be very helpful.
Actually, Maharaj,
¿Me gustó el plan? You like the plan I painted?
I like it.
Okay, it's new. Talking about this keeping, we just designed our temple building in Bhakti Dham in Brazil to have something special, outstanding. Anulada.
I just said you're the perfect example of how to keep seva constantly flowing. Everything you manifest everywhere. It's just amazing.
It's not all gold what shines. and I would not want to say that I'm the perfect example, but I would say that by keeping busy, it kind of saves us. Because we need to be busy. If we don't have something to do, we don't have a task to do, like then we get depressed, we get morose, and then we will be very weak and inclined to do things we're not supposed to do. So with my dear daughter, I have designed a plan to attack all the great members of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, friends, RSS, and we're gonna all tell them, take care of Vrindavan! This is where the whole thing came out from. This belongs to Krishna, this place, and we are not taking care of it. That means we are nonsense. Come on, let's clean it up. Yesterday, Govardhan gave me 2 workers, and Anuradha, his wife. 2 workers from Vrindavan. 2 workers. A worker in Vrindavan makes $100 a month. With $100 a month, I get a good guy to do 8 hours of good service for Vrindavan. So if anybody wants to pay, we need at least 60. We're going to have a Balaram Singh, an army of Balaram taking care of Vrindavan. I have waited too many years and waited for others to do it. So now we decided to do it. We have a very nice project. So anybody wants to pitch in a worker? There you go. $100 and you are with 1 representative of Vrindavan, in Vrindavan.
6,000 rupees?
Yeah. And we have to keep it, and there's going to be supervised. Everything's going to be paka. And we're going to put them there where the hotspots are, where they dump the garbage and for everything. Traffic management, no more speakers blurring into the... We're going to have people going all around Vrindavan monitoring continuously what's going on there. And just stopping the nonsense, but in a very loving, polite way.
And what you're selling?
We'll work on every level possible with everyone involved. Hema Malini is involved. And we don't care who knows. If that's Kejriwal or if this is the BJP or whatever, we're going to work with anybody to do the work which has to be done. There's nobody excluded. So book your workers.
Is that a hint?
Yes.
When he turns towards you, yes.
Huh?
That's how we got in yesterday.
No, we are very, I was waiting to finish my website because I wanted people to really look what it's all about, and it's very monumental, and it's not only Vrindavan, it's Govardhan, Varshana, Nandagram, every holy place. We're going to take care of the whole Braj Mandal to bring it back to what it's supposed to be, a sanctuary where you feel sanctified when you walk there.
So that's why it's great. The project is amazing, because if you actually are able to think that in a few years you can go over there and not walk into a dump yard, and that we don't have the transcendental vision to see Vrindavan.
And it's shameful for us to bring people from all over the world to a place, say this is the holiest of our holy places, and we don't have anybody looking after it.
It's the main problem, actually, is for people to see that.
This is more like Vrindavan.
Well, wherever Paramadvaiti Maharaj is, or in a holy dam.
We are very lucky that in the places where Krishna has invited us to be active, that there is such an amazing amount of beauty and spiritual dimension in the natural setting, so that we want to take people there to become spiritually enlightened. That's what these eco-yoga farms are all about. By the way, is Prakasananda Prabhu coming with more magazines? When is he supposed to arrive? Who knows that? Anybody of our travel coordinators? Yes, Prakasananda.
He's coming on 9th, next week.
Okay, that's the answer. When the festival is over, then we're going to get the medicines. So, any other question, commentary? This is a very enlivening. Emil, what is it? Our divine musician Emil Chusky.
Can you give a comment about the very high building which is being built at the other end of the island? He's asking. Can you give a comment about the very high building, the very high temple which is being built on the other side of the
The people who designed those buildings, they were living too long time in New York. And now they think this is normal that you make buildings like this. And of course some of us, we do not feel like that. We would have preferred to make a real Vedic village. But now it's a little bit late. It reminds me of Nova Cucula, Brazil. I bought that place long time ago and I wanted to make a Vedic village there. But then other people got involved and they just started building all kinds of strange buildings. And when I saw it, I lost my desire to make a Vedic village when they already got all kinds of cement structures sticking out there. So in this way, yes, we could say that maybe Mayapur's natural beauty has been disturbed or partially destroyed by this mountain of high-rise buildings. But then again, it is beyond our control, and it has happened that way. So we are still trying. I'm negotiating right now to make a Vedic village university in Mayapur. I'm negotiating, and there's a chance of a big piece of land being put into the purpose of a Vedic village university. And today we were supposed to go to the ISKCON Gurukul but the ISKCON Gurukul is a long, long way, and if the rain catches us on the way and it intensifies,
The road is too slippery.
we get very soaked to go there. So we may do something little different, like last night you had a nice darshan in Godrum?
Yes.
Yes? It was very beautiful?
Yes.
Very beautiful.
Okay, so that is the Godrum. The Navadvip is very busy today also. No, we have to make the way up there somehow. Let's see what the rain situation comes. Now we take Prashadam. After Prashadam we announce where our ways are going today. And if it's really raining all day, we may also stay in here and do some nice seminaries. This is what that's what Janavi Kunja Guryamat is a perfect place for seminaries. Feeling like you are in nature. Okay, time for breakfast. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Leela? Mother Leela? Mother Leela, jamais met Mother Leela. I introduce her, she will be in charge of looking after the people.
Srila Paramadvaiti Maharaj ki jai!
This is your treehouse you were telling me about.
Yeah.
I came to Mayapur